Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be talking about changing of status as a student in the United States of America. So if you are on F2 visa or B1, B2 visa or H1 visa, this is for you. You're wanting to change your status to F1 visa. This is for you. This is going to be a long video, but it is actually worth it. So I took my time to analyze everything, to explain it in a layman understanding. Anyone can understand this video. So if this is for you, you're tired of being an F2 dependent and you're bored being at home, you need to go to school, you need to work, you need to have opportunities. So just like an F1 student like us, this is for you. Sit down with your popcorn, with your drink, and chill and listen to this video. Like, you have a whole lot to learn from it. So this night I decided to share a good news. I believe everyone, most of the F1 students, non-immigrant students in the United States have been asking these questions. So I came across something today. I came across a news today that F2 can change their status. F2, that is the dependent, your spouse can change his or her status in the United States without actually applying for admission, then going back to the country, his or her country, to apply for visa and come back to the United States. Okay, this is a bit different. Like, you can change your status from F2, B1, B2, J1. You can change that to an F1 visa, where you're allowed to be a normal student and also have job opportunities too, because most of the F2s are complaining there are restrictions for work and they don't work and they're getting bored and all that. So now I decided to do some quick search on the internet after I saw the news somewhere else. So I decided to do my own internet searching. So I decided to use Hurston Community College. This was one of the schools I actually wanted to apply for myself before I decided to just go for my master's, right? So my name is Victoria. I'm a graduate student here in the United States. I'm doing my master's. Yay! So okay, let's go to this. Okay, change of status. So what this is all about is you can actually change your status from F2 to F1. So how this is done is change of status applications are processed only for one semester at a time. So we are going to be using this Hurston Community College for an example. So you just have to log into. So about the change of status, this application is for applicants who are in the US on a non-immigrant visa. For example, B1, B2, H1, and wish to change their status to F1. B1, B2, H1, F2, anyone, as long as it is not F1. So you must remain in the US until your application is adjudicated, and once approved, you'll be subject to travel restrictions that do not apply for the regular F1 student. So they're kind of saying that if you are approved, you'll have like a travel restrictions. Probably you won't travel out of the US until you graduate. Just like we F1 students, we are allowed to travel to our country and come back, or any country and come back. You understand? So you must be admitted into a full-time program of study at Hurston Community College. It can be any college. You understand? Any community college, any university. But like I said, this community college is it is a college I wanted to apply initially for myself. So I'm kind of still attached to them. Yeah, so I'll be using them throughout this whole section. So you must be admitted into a full-time program of study at Houston Community College and obtain the service form I-20 from the Office of International Service and Programs. So this is more like after you've been offered the admission into this community college, then you get your I-20 from the international office. You get your I-20 from the international office. This is for F2, B1, B2, H1. Then step 1 is online application, W and P numbers. So they said if you already have an HCC student ID, go to the step 3 to register for a change of status workshop. If does not apply to you, begin at step 1 below. So this is for my F2 applicant. So you don't need to be worried, you don't need to be sad, you don't need to complain about being at home, not doing anything. You can actually change your status by yourself without traveling to, for example, without traveling to Nigeria or Ghana or your home country for another visa interview sections, which can be very scary. So number 1 is click, if you don't have a student ID, Houston student ID, so you have to start from beginning. So you click on online application for admissions. You go to start new application. This is very straightforward. Like everybody should be familiar with this. Select F1 international application, the third option from the top, and click next. Enter your names as they appear on your passport, your date of birth, and your email. Set your password. Then from new account created page, click continue to go to F1 application steps. So now they're directing you to an F1 applications. Choose yes to confirm that you're applying as F1 student. Choose COS student from I'm applying as F1 student. Select the admit term semester you want to start studying at Houston Community College. Be it spring 2022, be it fall 2022, 2023, anytime you want. But make sure you apply ahead of the deadlines. Complete all 9 steps of the application and submit. This is so straightforward. Like there are no complications here. It's just straightforward. You'll receive your conditional offer letter and an email with the next steps with your HCC student ID and your assigned number starting with P. So you understand now. After your online application for admissions, you've submitted that, you get your admission letter. So that is it. They're asking that you do not submit multiple applications. You only need one Houston Community College student ID and we can work with you. You understand if you have any changes. Next step is sign into your Houston Community College account. So the website is there, www.hccs.edu. Click on my Eagle student sign in link found in the top left corner of the screen. This is so good. Log in. You are now on a student system sign in page. Log in with your Houston Community College student ID number and your password which you previously created while applying for the admission. So step 3, which is the main discussion now, is register for a change of status, which is COS virtual workshop. Change of status applicant should schedule an appointment for one of the COS workshop sessions. These sessions cover all aspects of blah 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 blah. Eligible applicants should prepare all documents listed in step 4. Instructions about the documents will be provided during the virtual workshop. The initial change of status service form I-20 will be processed within 10 business days. This is after you've submitted your admission, after you've submitted your application, and you've indicated that you are applying for an F1 application. What you will need before scheduling your session is your Houston Community College ID. This ID was sent to you after you submitted your application. The date listed on your I-94 as an admit until date. Your I-94, which is the one you got after you passed the custom borders, or your expected visa status termination date, when your visa status will be terminated as an F2 applicant. So 3 is visa type on your I-94, latest change of status, latest change of status, approval notice, passport stamp. So yeah, this is most of the things you'll be needing for your change of status. Then how to schedule and register via WebEx. So it's there. Then this is the document you'll be needing for your change of status. So I'm doing this video because I want you to understand that it is possible for you to do it yourself. Like, it is very possible. There are 2 options anyways. Either you go through this option or you apply for schools as an F2, apply for schools for the next intake, then travel back to your home country and go for your visa interview. If successful, you come back to the state to stay with your spouse and continue your studies. So this step 4 is the document you'll be needing for the change of status workshop. So the document is your service form I-20 application, your complete and signed legal waiver and release form, passport photograph, biometric page only. This is your international passport. Copy of visa change of status approval notice. So this is it. This copy of visa is your visa stamp or change of status approval notice. After you've submitted your application, they are going to approve it. If they approve it, this is what they need. Then your I-94 departure record. You know what is I-94. Then your financial documentation, to the amount of money you'll be needing, covering the full amount shown on the form I-20. So for like annual estimate, either $22,980, you should have this in your financial documentation, your bank statement mostly. Then your $75 application fee. You have to have this $75 application fee. Then you arrange your document. Yay, so easy. So step 5 is upload documents to your student checklist. So all those documents we mentioned previously, you have to upload them to the portal. You upload them. Then step 6 is check the status of your application. Check your status of your application, if you were approved or not. And if you are approved, once you have uploaded all your document, it takes about 10 days before processing of the service form I-20. This time will vary depending on when the application is submitted and how many applicants there are at that time. So you just have to submit as early as possible, at least 1 month, 2 months before the deadline of that intake you are trying to apply for. Then you receive your service form. Once you receive your service form and everything, they'll be sending you, we are now sending the I-20 form electronically via email. So you see, after you've received your service form I-20, oh, this is nice. Then they send you your I-20. They said do not submit your change of status application to without the service form. Okay, yeah, do not do that. Don't do that, please. Then you pay your $350 service I-901 fee. Okay, this is the fee your spouse paid for F1. You know, all F1 applicants are required to pay this. So since you're now transitioning from F2 to F1, you are now required to pay this too. So you have to pay this. You have to pay that. Then step 9 is file your change of status application package to the USCIS online or by mail. So the whole links are here. This is something you should do by yourself. This is not something you need kind of a legal hand or so. So this is something you do by yourself. I enjoy doing these things by myself because it gives me more knowledge. Yeah, it gives me more knowledge. So everything is here. You just have to take your time, read through it so that you won't make mistakes. Then things to do before receiving approval notice. So if you are approved to change, like if you are approved that your status has been changed from F2 to F1, then if you want them to change it. So these are the things you should take your time to look at before receiving your approval. So things to do after receiving your approval is report by email to okay, this is for international students, and your assigned DSO, and attach the following document: completed new student check-in form, $50 orientation fee payable. So now you are now a student, so they're asking you to do this. So that is it. Is it not so good? Like, I think this is the easiest, if you ask me. Like, I think this is the easiest, though the amount of time it takes is not here, like it's not written here. But that is why, if you're applying for next take, you should start as soon as possible, before 4, so that you will be approved to start classes for that 4. So you don't really need to go back to your home country for your visa, which it is not guaranteed. So you might be refused, you might be approved. So this is kind of the easiest way for me. So even if this one is not approved for you, your status as an F2, B1, H1 is still intact. You're still allowed to stay in the state till whenever your status is like end, then you just have to come back to your home country. But I think this is a straightforward stuff. So you can, it is not a must, it has to be Houston Community College. Like I said, this is a college I like so much. So you just have to look for another school of your choice in a different state and see if they offer this change of status for students. So I think it's not all schools that offer this change of status student, because I don't think my school offers that. I don't think so, I'm not sure. But you just have to do your own assignments, your own research work, and see by yourself. Yeah, thank you. So this is the end of it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye.